I thought why not do a best of in TV and film and video games and such. Let's start with games. So, what is the best game that came out this year, Greg?
Um, so I'm going to be entirely predictable to people who know me, and it's going to be Breath of the Wild. Um, I played a couple of great games this year. Well, I've actually not played all that many games, if I'm brutally honest. Mario Odyssey is one that I'm working through at the moment, which is a beautiful game, really polished, really fun. Pick up and put down at any time, just jump straight into it. It's fantastic. But there's something about the Zelda series for me, um, and this game certainly isn't flawless. I can be quite vocal about some of the flaws that it's got. Kind of lacking story, um, lacking in sort of some traditional dungeon elements. But the stuff that it does right, it does so very right that it almost just washes away any of its sins. It pretty much does wash away the sins that it gets wrong. It never gets anything wrong that colossally wrong. It's just
Hmm.
like, oh, they could be better. Um, in the bits where it's good, it's outstanding. It's it's been following obviously in the footsteps of Skyward Sword, which arguably went down the wrong avenue for Zelda. It became a little bit too linear, a little bit too structured. Um, the freedom was lost. It was just kind of you go here and then you go here and you go here. And they've been going that way for a little while with the 3D Zelda games. It's becoming less and less freeform. Whereas this just kind of like wipe the slate clean. It's like, yeah, do whatever the fuck you want. Go and fight Ganon in your underwear if you want with a stick. Fine. Go and give it a go. Um, and I love that. I took the game at my own pace. I did, all the side bits. I've not yet finished the DLC. I've not yet started the DLC. I bought it. Um, so I'm excited for that. And really, the only thing I can say is that my enthusiasm for the next Zelda, which is going to be like 4 or 5 years away, um, I just can't wait to see what they do now
Hmm.
because they're going to take the great things that they've done in this and
Yeah.
maybe introduce some of the elements that it lacked. Some more traditional dungeons, maybe a little bit more of an established storyline, and if they keep it in the same vein, then it's going to blow. It's going to blow everything else
Hmm.
out of the water. And I think with Breath of the Wild is like you look at all like the media publications this year of what they've voted it, and it's like across the board, it's like game of the year, game of the year, game of the year. So they've done some stuff right, and for me, it's my favorite.
Yeah, I've seen tons of videos and streams, people playing Breath of the Wild. It looks fantastic. It's a stunning looking game. Looks incredible.
Yeah,
Gameplay looks on point and stuff. I've
yeah,
never played too much of the Zeldas. I played a little of Ocarina of Time, as you know, and enjoyed that from what I played of it. But yeah, Breath of the Wild looks absolutely fantastic.
yeah. I can't if you're a fan of Zelda game. I guess the
Mhm.
biggest drawback is you have to get a Switch for it, or a Wii U, of course.
Yeah,
Which there's not many of those around at the moment in terms of install base, and I think they're
yeah,
pretty hard to get hold of in general, just because they're sold out the Switch. Um, but yeah,
yeah.
do
I
any,
fully intend to play
yeah,
through the series, so I'm looking forward to getting to Breath of the Wild.
absolutely.
Ben, what you got?
I'm gonna be honest with you. My gaming experience for this year has been very, very limited.
Yeah, mine's
Um,
pretty minimal too.
I've not played things like Call of Duty yet, World War Two. I've not played Resident Evil 7. Um, all these games that have come out that I want to play. Even I've not wanted to play Prey because I played the original. Um, so unfortunately, it's a great game, but the only one I haven't come along with is Destiny 2. And
Yeah,
that's only because that was this year. I enjoy playing it with like free world. I would have put Final Fantasy 15 in there, but that was technically November last year. Um, Again, it's I think it's more the experience of online play with
yeah,
other people that does it for me with Destiny. Um, Not necessarily the story, because the story is quite short, and it always has been in both games. Um, but it's fun to play. It's got lots of other side things that go on. It never seems to end. Yes, obviously a lot of it is DLC based, but you know what? I don't mind. It adds a lot to it every time.
Yeah, I think for me, I like the same. I've not played too many games that were released this year. Off the top of my head, Halo Wars 2, which was really early in the year. Cuphead, Destiny 2. I think probably the best game I've played will have to be Cuphead. It's the gameplay is absolutely solid. The art style, we've talked about this before. It's just I think it's fantastic. Frustrating in the right ways, to make you want to keep going and keep doing it. Yeah, I think it's great. However, I think, and I have to agree with you on this, Ben. I've probably had the most fun playing Destiny 2. I don't think it's the best game, but because because you and I have co-opted it for most of it, and it's just that co-op experience that's it's always fun. It can always elevate a mediocre game to something good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've had a lot of fun playing Destiny 2. Like I said, I don't think it's a great game at all, really.
I think there's been better ones this year. But
for sure, and Destiny's doing a lot of really shady shit now. Bungie are letting me down with a lot of the whole money grabbing schemes that they're doing and blocking off content and making it hard to get good gear if you don't have this DLC or you haven't bought the fucking Eververse stuff. That shit pisses me off. It's the same shit that EA are doing and all that stuff. I think it's killing the industry and it angers me. However, yeah, I have had the most fun playing Destiny 2 through co-op, but the best game I think I've played is Cuphead. But yeah, because I don't think any of us really play too many new releases in a year, I thought I'd open up another category. So, what is the best game you've played this year that wasn't released this year? Go around again, Greg.
I guess the ones that, well, really the only ones that I've sort of spent any time with would be Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne, and I can't actually think of anything else. I'm sure there is something that I've played that didn't come out this year. Ultimately, it's going to be Bloodborne. It took me a long time to get around to playing Bloodborne. I was obviously late to the game in 2017. I think I started it in January, and I finished it in October. So I didn't.
Wow, really that long?
So I didn't.
Oh my God.
I didn't play it with any sort of speed whatsoever. I sort of did it in spurts. I'd play for like a week or two, and do progress, and then like leave it for months. Just work and whatever else. Not because I wasn't enjoying the game. The game grew on me. I always. I've seen it for a long time and I knew it was out there, and I love the aesthetic. I absolutely loved the aesthetic. I thought it was dark, it was atmospheric. The lore was just like really intriguing. However, one of the issues that I had was largely early game was largely because I wasn't playing it often enough. Because I was playing it in fits and spurts, and I'd come back and I wouldn't know where I was or where I was up to. I think one of the criticisms of the game is that it does look largely the same throughout the entire game. So it's hard to find out, where was I up to? What was I doing? But when I actually sat down and played it, and I played it solo, which was an entirely different beast then, because obviously I've played the entire Dark Souls series with you co-op. This was the first Dark Souls game that I've actually played on, barring the end of Dark Souls 2. The first Dark Souls games that I played on my own. First Souls game, sorry, should I say?
Yeah.
This it was a different challenge.
Yeah.
Some of the bosses at the end, Jesus man, Orphan of Kos.
Yeah.
But
so I'm going
to
to interject. I'm in complete agreement with you. My pick is also Bloodborne.
Yeah.
It's just I was so I kind of became a little obsessed with it. I couldn't stop. I loved it to death. The, like you said, atmosphere. I love the environment, the setting, this kind of gothic horror type setting. I thought it was
Yeah.
fantastic. I started about a month after you did.
Yeah.
Based off
Finished
based
it
on you
significantly before I did.
significantly more, yeah, because based off you know, off our co-oping Dark Souls in the past, I thought we'd co-op this one, and you not playing it as regularly, I couldn't stop. I had to say, if you don't mind, I don't want to stop playing this. I need to keep going. So I finished it in about 4 weeks. All optional content, chalice dungeons, just fantastic challenge.
After having played it, after having finished it in the past couple of months, when I look back at it, it like the rose tinted spectacles effect is kicking in. It's like I look it back and I think, oh Jesus Christ, and I think, God, that was good. That bit was great. Like fighting Maria, fantastic. I think that's my favorite boss of the entire Soulsborne series is Maria. The hardest boss I've fought in the Soulsborne series is going to be Kos.
Kos took me a good few days, and like that was a real brick wall for me. Like, my God,
it must have taken me north of 20 tries.
Yeah.
Which I guess in the grand scheme of things doesn't sound like an awful lot, but I was pretty over leveled in fairness. But Kos doesn't really give a shit about your level. Like if you don't get down his thing, he doesn't. Anyway, like I look back on it really fondly. I'm actually really excited. We need to go back and play this co-op. We'll do New Game Plus together in co-op.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to doing that. And overall, that game is just, I rate it so highly.
Yeah.
I'm almost the nostalgia after such a short time is almost the point where I'm actually putting it on par with Dark Souls now. Maybe it's not quite there, but it's
for me. I think it's. I don't know. I kind of have them on level like the original Dark Souls and Bloodborne. I'm kind of torn between them. I found myself just gravitating a little more to Bloodborne just because I prefer the world and I prefer its story and its lore and setting and stuff. Even though Bloodborne follows the same structure as Dark Souls and gameplay and stuff, I thought it was a nice change of pace, in its faster pace. The way I typically play Dark Souls is I'm a real like sword and board, heavy armor. That's the way I've always played those games.
The combat was great, and I love the
fantastic
line when you get the first shield, the plank shield, and he says, hunters don't use shields essentially because it engenders passivity, and that's exactly what it does. It teaches Dark Souls teaches that like turtle up style, which is big fuck off heavy shield, and fuck dodging because I can just block pretty much everything.
Because I'm going to tank this.
Yeah, and if I can't tank the hit, then I'll just Estus up. This completely changes your mind. It's like you cannot block shit. Learn to dodge or die. It's just how it is, and I had a little bit of an easier transition into that. I guess maybe than you because I played Dex and I'm a Dex fag.
Yeah, you always dodging and stuff in those games.
In Dark Souls, so I never played with the shield. I was always dodging. So transitioning over to this was kind of like it just felt a little bit faster, a little bit more fluid. But yeah, the combat's the best in the series, no questions.
I was halfway through the first area through Yharnam, Central Yharnam, and I fell so much in love with it that early on. I don't even think I'd fought the cleric beast yet. I went and bought a T-shirt. I'm like, I love this game. I love this game already. And that didn't dwindle at all. I just continued to love it more throughout. So, sorry, Ben, we're gushing on this. We could talk about this forever. Ben,
what's happening? Am I still here?
Ben, what is your best game that you've played this year?
I swear it was great. I played Gone Home. I played Gone Home, and I finished it within a minute. So that one is the one I'm gonna go. No, it's not. It's fucking not. Honestly,
have you seen that Gone Home, Greg? There's literally an achievement to beat it in 60 seconds.
No.
Yeah, just encourages speedrunning.
Yeah. No, honestly, my favourite game I've played this year, and it's a game I've played before. Because it was re-released and they brought it back out in HD and
Okay.
for the Xbox One, etc. And it was BioShock, because BioShock is and has always been in my top games, and just to get the opportunity to play it again, it hadn't changed. I still feel exactly the same way. It's a game that I just love the world, the environment, the story. I'm still hoping at some point that there's a BioShock movie, and it's kind of the only ones that one of the only games that I sort of beg them to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if it ever did, obviously I'd probably be very disappointed, because I bet you any movie made from a game never turns out well. But Final Fantasy Advent Children aside, because that's just amazing. But yeah, just have the opportunity to play BioShock 1 and 2, because it's part of the same trilogy thing. But yeah, I'd go with BioShock.
To be honest,
Cool.
in my head, BioShock has a lot of the same features of Bloodborne. This kind of like really atmospheric world, and it's told through like visual storytelling rather than, rather than like combat text or whatever.
Yeah.
They're similar in a lot of regards. It's something I need to pay more attention to. BioShock. I tried it in the past.
You did play it. Did you ever finish it?
No, I barely played any, to be brutally honest.
Yeah.
I did.
I know you got it, but
yeah. My issue at the time is that it just felt so. Like I had no fucking clue what I was doing. I had no fucking clue what I was doing or where I was going. I wasn't playing it kind of methodically as I probably should have done. And I was really tense the entire time. Like it didn't feel like I could stop for a break at any point and just kind of like, oh yeah, this is a safe spot. Everywhere felt like enemy territory. And since playing that, I've played the Dark Souls game, so I'm used to that now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I own the entire series on Steam.
As do I. Yeah.
I bought it for like £7, so I'll get around
I feel
to
like
it
we're just
eventually.
echoing each other here. Like, yeah. I'm exactly the same.
so have you played it? Have you played it at all, Danny?
I played maybe a couple of hours of the first one. Felt very similar feelings to what Greg just described, and I put it down. I didn't pick it back up. But I own them. Steam sales. Fuck it. Why not buy them? Yeah, it's something I'd like to go back and visit, because I'm not I guess I'm not the same gamer I was fucking 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's
10
quite a
years
long
ago,
time
so.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah, so I will give it another go for sure. I remember when BioShock Infinite came out. That game looked phenomenal, and I fully intended to play that, but never got around to it. Yeah, so
All three of them were great. But the world of Rapture, BioShock 1 and 2, I preferred Rapture. Rapture's.
That's one of the things that really pulled me towards it was Rapture. I thought that's a fantastic setting. It looks really, really great.
And I would love to get a big, massive sort of canvas of the underwater skyline of Rapture. I think it looks great.
No gods or kings, only man.
Yeah.
That's the sign, wasn't it? That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, best TV show of 2017. This year we've had things like Fargo, Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, Better Call Saul, Stranger Things. I think you watched American Gods, didn't you, Greg? I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ben, what you got?
You just said one. Mine was Series 7 of Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Sure.
I absolutely loved it, and we had the massive podcast on it, and we all came. I always felt we were all in agreement that it was a great series.
Yeah, fantastic.
And I don't think there's been anything else that I've watched this year, because I have watched Walking Dead. I enjoy Walking Dead. I know none of you two do, so I can talk about that. Walking Dead was a good step up. It was much more fast-paced this year. Obviously, I think it's on a mid-season break now. with a cliffhanger at the end of it, which was expected, but either way. I did watch Daredevil, but I've still not watched any of the other Marvel ones, like you keep pestering me to.
I think Daredevil's about 2 years old though now, anyway.
Is it?
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I've got to go with Game of Thrones, and I am so hyped and so looking forward to 2019 when it comes out for the final series. I really want to know how it's going to end. I really want to know, and I can see myself sort of having like this countdown in the last couple of months where I'm just going to be like, oh my god.
You could maybe read the books between now and then.
Yeah, totally.
I could. My next book to read, well, my book to read is going to be an autobiography, but I'm not going to do that. No, I want to watch that. I want to watch the TV series before I perhaps go back and read the books, because I want to see how that storyline goes, not be tied into something else.
Right.
It's just.
I know
really
you do
foreign.
the opposite.
Yeah, that just feels
yeah,
really
you do
foreign
the opposite.
to hear.
Yeah, you do the opposite. Because I've not read the books, I feel as though I would then watch the TV series, I'd read the books, and I'd be like, this doesn't make sense. Why has this happened, but this hasn't happened there?
Yeah,
I need to follow one through for continuation, and then I can perhaps go back and do it another way.
Greg, what you
got? So I guess start off by saying just like honourable mentions. So
sure.
Stranger Things season 2 was great. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I've actually started watching.
Does that change your pick, Ben?
No, it's still Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Okay.
Stranger Things is probably my second spot. Stranger Things season 2. I watched a bunch of TV this year, so I watched the third series of Leftovers. Now, I fucking loved the second series of The Leftovers. I thought it was some of the best television like available for the past 10 years. Season 3, not great. Good, but not great. Bit of a disappointment. Mindhunter was pretty good. Don't know if you've seen that on Netflix.
No, I
No?
don't know that one.
I'd give that a watch if you get a chance. It's an interesting like 10-part series. I think it's Netflix at least. Yeah, it was. Mr. Robot season 3. That's been good. That's been more in line with season 1. Season 2 was a bit of a write-off. And then finally, my other final mention, The Punisher, which is also really damn good.
For sure.
But I'm just going to echo what Ben said, and I can't look past it as the best series that I've watched this year, because it just is. And Game of Thrones season 7.
You go Game of Thrones too?
Yeah, it just is for me. Just like as good as things can be, it has to be on like the Breaking Bad level to make me look away from Game of Thrones.
Right.
And nothing has come out on the level of Breaking Bad, or maybe like of True Detective season 1.
Yeah.
Those things would get me to look away, but none of those this year. Game of Thrones stands on top.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to disagree. I guess my honorable mentions, things I've seen this year: Fargo season 3, which was not as good as the first two. Interesting, nonetheless. So Ewan McGregor playing the twins. It was good, but not great. Better Call Saul, I really loved. It had that great that great episode in the courtroom that I thought was outstanding.
It's constantly some of the best television, though, isn't it?
It really is.
It's just such a constant level of quality.
And it was kind of slow burning. I wasn't sure if they'd be able to, and I don't think they haven't reached the levels of Breaking Bad, but it's very good in its own way.
Glacially slow.
Yeah. Season 2 was just not the best. That was really really slow, but I love Better Call Saul. But my top has to be Iron Fist. I mean,
was that this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, how else would we know that he is the immortal Iron Fist, protector of Kunlun,
sworn
eternal,
enemy of the hands.
Sworn enemy of the hand. He punched a dragon in the heart. a plot point so important his own show could not contain it. He had to tell everyone in a different show in the Defenders about it. So I'm kidding, of course I'm kidding. It's Game of Thrones, obviously. It was just, I mean, I have nothing else to say. You guys have done it all for me. It was nothing else had that level of quality episode to episode. It was good all the way through. It was fantastic. So I thought with the amount of them this year, I thought we'd have a look at the best superhero film of 2017. So we've had Logan, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Wonder Woman, Spider-Man. Let me know if you think of anything else. Thor, yeah, Justice League, etc. I'll start off. I think it has to be Logan, man. What a movie. We mentioned it a little earlier. What a send off for this character that's been with us for such a long time. Played fantastically by Hugh Jackman. This film was tragic and dark and sad and action packed. I loved it. Some key moments in this film. Things like when we see Charles Xavier for the first time, and he's reduced to this, he's this old man in bed, and just what a strong figure he was in the X-Men universe, and just to kind of see him reduced to this was just awful. Yeah, it was grim. It was grim, but it was beautiful. The movie.
Can I jump in? I guess.
Sure.
I'm gonna just reiterate everything you said. I got some good movies. I mean, it's been a good year, I guess, for comic book films. Like I said, Wonder Woman's the strongest thing DC have shown out. That was a great film. Not groundbreaking or anything. I suppose actually maybe it was groundbreaking. First female superhero lead. Spider-Man: Homecoming deserves a mention. Thor: Ragnarok deserves a mention. But yeah, for me, I'm exactly the same. Logan was a different level of superhero story. It may well be my favorite of them all.
Of any superhero film.
Yeah, of all of them. So up there is probably Avengers and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's probably my favorite. It was
for me. I don't think anything can dethrone The Dark Knight. That's just a level of quality that can't.
Yeah, Dark Knight's up there as well.
Yeah.
It's tough to say. A top three is probably those three. Logan was just. It just didn't feel like a superhero film in a lot of ways. It just felt like this really gripping drama about characters that we've spent the last 17 years with.
Yeah.
And we've seen them grow old and grow fucked up and whatever.
Yeah.
Emotional, impactful, brilliantly acted by everybody who was in it. Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman, right on the top of the game, just stunning. The little girl as well was really something. Tricky for a child actor always, but
she nailed it.
Yeah, she held up. I love that film. Yeah. I really, really do love that film.
Steve Merchant, he was good.
Yeah, I can't overemphasize or overpraise it. I don't think it's a really damn good film.
Heartbreaking.
And if they stopped the X-Men franchise after that film, I would have been perfectly happy. Done, stop, and then Marvel can take over it in a couple of years. Yeah, they sort of they keep bumping them out, and I think they're not going to reach the same level as Logan.
Yeah, as you said earlier, though, if had Disney bought, Fox prior to this movie, we probably wouldn't have got anything on this level.
No. I don't think we would have had an R-rated superhero film.
Yeah.
I mean, it was Deadpool that's kicked this off. Obviously, kicked this trend off. I don't think Deadpool would have come along. I don't think Logan would have come along, and I think the world would have been poorer for it. So I'm glad it's happened at some point, because I think if you're gonna do superhero films, Marvel's the safest pair of hands to be in.
Yeah.
Disney, sorry. But I'm glad it's happened now rather than later, because we've got to see Logan.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal movie. Ben, what you got?
I'm very tired between two, and I get everything you've said regarding Logan, because Logan was also probably one of mine. But I'm also tired with Guardians too, because I just love the Guardians. Out of the Marvel ones, I mean, Thor Ragnarok was great, but
it's kind of hard to pick because there's been so much quality superhero films this year.
I just enjoy. I love the characters. I love the space side of things. The comedy that was in Guardians, the characters, and we do lose some in this as well, which I wish we hadn't, but obviously it has to happen. But I think I'm probably going to agree with you overall and stick with Logan as well.
No, cool, yeah, it's a fantastic. All right, okay, here we go. The crown jewel. What is the best film? What is the best film of 2017? So we've had things like let's look, Get Out. I loved Dunkirk, Kingsman 2, Logan Lucky, I suppose. My top, and I couldn't stop looking. I was absolutely enthralled with this movie. Was Blade Runner 2049. And not being a huge fan of the original at that time, I'm still not really a huge fan, but I mean, prior to going into this movie, I think Ben and I had only seen Blade Runner for the first time about 2 or 3 months prior, and we were not into it at all. And I've said this before to you guys. The three of us have a movie night fairly regularly, and that was Greg's choice. Greg's a big Blade Runner fan. Maybe it wasn't the right choice in the kind of friendly environment where we're kind of chatting and stuff. The Blade Runner's a type of film you really got to kind of watch. It's slow burning. It's great,
particularly if you watch the version we watched, which was the final
the
cut.
Extended, yeah.
And it's
final cut.
It's like 6 hours long.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe not the right choice.
Some would argue 6 hours too long, but yeah.
So I've seen it since on my own and really dug it. Sitting in the cinema for Blade Runner 2049, just my eyes were just glued to the screen. I couldn't stop. It was slow again, but I mean they nailed the world. The music was fantastic. I was loving the story it was telling. Ryan Gosling was great.
Did you ever get Did you ever get around to watching those shorts that took place?
Oh fuck, I never did.
Go and have a look for those. They'll be on YouTube somewhere.
I'll try and get those after we finish. I loved it. I couldn't get enough of it. Even though it was like 3+ hours long. I remember like after about 2 hours, and I'm sat there thinking like, man, we haven't even seen Deckard yet, and he was on all the promotional material, and it still didn't feel like that long. I only knew it was 2 hours because I checked my watch, but it wasn't a film that I didn't feel like it dragged. I turned to my left in the cinema and Ben slumped down in his chair, just hating life. It was so apparent that Ben was not enjoying himself, but I really was. I really loved it. Dave Bautista in the opening scene was really good. Ryan Gosling was great throughout. He's an actor I'm not too familiar with. I haven't really seen any of his films, I don't think. He impressed me. I can't say enough good things. I loved Blade Runner 2049. Let's move on, Ben.
Yeah, I knew you enjoyed it more than the first one, but I did not think you'd expect it as your favourite for the year.
Yeah, I think it was. There's just nothing I enjoyed that much, and there's been a bunch. Like I get honorable mentions. Like Get Out was a fantastic surprise. I didn't expect anything on that level when I saw it. Really good. I think we all loved Dunkirk because that was intense and fantastic. So, but yeah, Blade Runner, I couldn't get enough of. Sorry, go on, Ben.
You just said it. That's my favourite, Dunkirk.
Dunkirk, yeah, I don't blame you.
I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was moving. I don't think it was overdone, and because of the sensitivity that could have been behind it if you do it wrong, I think it was done extremely well. And I'm trying to think of the word for it. It was caring for like the memories of everything that happened. The actors, the casting, again, I thought was great. The visuals. I mean, we even said this at the time. I mean, Harry Styles, but he was all right. He was good. I didn't see Harry Styles. I just saw a member of the.
I think I've said before, like he wasn't cast based on who he was because Christopher Nolan didn't know who he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just nailed the audition.
It was very good, very very good, and it's just come out, and I'm literally just waiting to get to the shops to buy it.
Yeah. I think Christopher Nolan's just one of those directors, isn't he? That just can't seem to do a bad film. He's constant quality from him, whether it's Batman or whatever, Interstellar, Inception, and so on.
I can see that movie of going wrong if they'd done it in a linear way, in a time orientated way. If it happened as time went on, I don't think that would have worked. I think the way it worked was because they split it up. They were running at different times. Things were happening before they'd happened elsewhere, and then eventually it all ties together.
All come together, yeah. I like that a lot.
That was very good. And everyone was all in this little close-knit group. However, you didn't know that until the end, but they were all going to be part of the same storyline. Even the fighter in the sky with Tom Hardy. Literally, everything happened, and it happened for a reason.
Yeah. All right, Greg. Finish up. What you got?
Justice League. It really, really affected me. I'm trying to think of some like virtues to bullshit about it. I can't actually think of anything.
It was, yeah, don't bullshit the bullshit.
Dunkirk was one of my favourite films of the year. Just powerful, emotional. Just watching it, it's a tough film to watch. I walked out of that cinema and I felt like emotionally drained. I was like, fucking hell, like Jesus. It takes something out of you. Get Out was another great film. I think that's probably one of the best. Not really a horror film, I guess. Maybe could be viewed in a different way, but one of the best horror films that's been out for a good while. It was probably up there as well. Really enjoyed that.
I totally forgot about it.
We spoke about that on the podcast a couple of months ago.
Yeah,
I really, really enjoyed it. I've watched it since, and I enjoyed it just as much. But I'm going to be predictable, and my favourite was Blade Runner. I don't love the first one. I really like the first one. I can look at it like critically. If I try to look at it like with a critical eye and try to think cinematography and stuff like that, I just think it stands out so high against a lot of its contemporaries, and it did a lot for the science fiction genre. I think it contributed a lot, just as much as Star Wars did, arguably, into science fiction films. And this could have gone really wrong. This sequel, this could have gone really wrong because Harrison Ford's an old man, and he seems to have a habit of going back and killing off his old characters, sorry. And he certainly did that in this film as well. But yeah, it was just I really enjoyed it. like I said, the cinematography was just jaw-dropping. The music was brilliant. The story, I was really, really tied to it for the entirety. The acting was great. And the director, I mean, what can you say about Villeneuve? He's quickly becoming my favourite. I think maybe above Nolan. I think he might now be my favourite directors. He just pumps out just classic after classic. So I think 2049 is my favourite. But it's been a good year. It has been a good year. It's been a good year. There's been a fair few to pick from. I tend to watch a lot of films, so I've forgot about quite a few of them. But I think I'm not doing anything else a disservice by saying that Blade Runner's my favourite.
I think you and I, Greg, are just agreed on just about everything bar the video game not released this year.
Yeah, and it's obvious choices, and I feel a little bit bad because it's obvious choices, but I can't not say that that Game of Thrones was my favourite, though it's the bloody obvious choice. I can't not say that this is my favourite film. It just is. I'm predictable.
Yeah, I think probably had I played Breath of the Wild, I'd probably agree with you that too.
Yeah,
because it does look fantastic. But yeah, so yeah, we ready to wrap.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to 2018.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what it has to offer. What's upcoming that we're looking forward to?
Infinity War.
Is that next year?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, Infinity War.
Summer, isn't
I guess. Right, cool.
It is.
Han Solo. Anything else I can't think of?
Darkest Hour next month.
Yeah, that looks fucking awesome.
Games, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Is that next year as well?
Yeah, March.
Oh, I didn't realize it was. Man, okay. Cool.
Okay, that's good. That's
Awesome.
close.
Well, assuming that they don't push it back, but yeah, March as of right now.
All right, cool. Yeah.
TV series. Westworld comes back next year.
Yeah, can't wait for Westworld season 2. Daredevil season 3.
Is that coming? I didn't know.
I think it is, but I'm not sure.
I know that Jessica Jones season 2 is coming next year.
Right. Okay.
Which
any of those, I'm
I'll watch
down for really.
But I'm not too sold on Jessica Jones. Westworld's probably. I can imagine I'm going to be sat here next year saying Westworld's going to be my favourite.
I will probably be agreeing with you again because Westworld season 1 was just fantastic.
Yeah.
That was another one I couldn't get enough. I couldn't get enough of.
We've also got Black Panther, Jurassic World, Ant-Man and the Wasp. That's next year as well.
Yeah.
Jurassic.
I know you.
What's it called?
I know
Jurassic
you've not
World?
seen it, but I want to watch Fallen Kingdom.
Jurassic Park Fallen. Okay.
Yeah. You've not seen the first one, but I want to watch Pacific Rim.
I have seen the first one.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
I haven't. Doesn't really look like my thing.
It's alright actually.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. And strangely, if I'm going to go for kids' movies, I actually want to see Wreck-It Ralph 2.
I didn't know there was a second one.
Yeah, that's next year.
I've not seen the first one.
The first one was great. I loved the first one.